केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Ladies and gentlemen, with just 9 days to go for the first phase of voting in West Bengal, the spotlight is back on a political consultancy firm that the West Bengal Chief Minister herself went all out to defend. Remember how 3 months ago, Mamata Banerjee, flanked by senior police officials, walked into the premises being searched by the Enforcement Directorate and walked away with what the ED called crucial evidence. Yesterday, one of the co-founders of that private company, I-PAC, political consultants, Vinesh Chandel, was arrested. Chandel has been picked up in a case linked to alleged Hawala transactions. The ED's claims are serious. They say Chandel had devised a mechanism to accept only part of consultancy fee in check, which enabled the use of the unaccounted cash in poll expenditure. ED has also alleged that the money illegally routed to I-PAC came from an alleged coal scam and that the laundering trail amounts to nearly 50 crore rupees. Today, Chandel has been sent to 10 days of ED custody, and the court, while granting custody, noted that there are grounds to believe Hawala channels were used and unaccounted money was in play. But none of this matters to a defiant and belligerent Trinamool Congress chief who has called this a way to suppress and scare the Bengal election.
আমরাও দেখতে চাই কাকে কাকে অ্যারেস্ট করছো করো। আমি চ্যালেঞ্জ করে বলছি, বাংলা আবার তৃণমূল দখল করবে, জোড়া ফুল দখল করবে, এটা জেনে রাখুন। আপনারা আমাকে ধমকালে আমি চমকাই, আর আপনারা আমাকে চমকালে আমি গর্জাই, আর আপনারা আমাকে বর্ষালে গর্জালে আমি বর্ষাই, আর আমাকে আপনারা বর্ষালে আমি উতরাই, চড়াই উতরাই পেরিয়ে আমি এগিয়ে যাই মানুষকে সাথে নিয়ে।
In poll season, this arrest has exploded into a full-blown political war. The Trinamool Congress has called it nothing short of electoral sabotage, timed just 10 days before Bengal votes. Abhishek Banerjee has called it intimidation. From the Election Commission to the Enforcement Directorate, NIA and CBI, all are on TMC's radar. All are being accused of creating fear, not fairness. TMC says the centre is weaponizing institutions before elections and therefore all central agencies must be withdrawn from Bengal.
Let's get to an organization which has announced its new name last night. The organization was known as ED. Now they have renamed themselves. Extremely desperate. 10 days before polling is not law enforcement. It is electoral sabotage. We demand the immediate and unconditional release of Vinesh Chandel. We demand that central agencies be withdrawn from Bengal ahead of the polls.
But the BJP is staring into these claims. They have asked, how is this intimidation when the probe began long before elections? What is the Enforcement Directorate supposed to do if it finds grounds for arrest? Wait for the election calendar to clear up? Should corruption crackdowns be paused just because polls are around the corner? And how does accountability suddenly become political vendetta? The Saffron Party is directly putting Didi in the dock. Was the fear of collusion and the lid being blown off behind Mamata Banerjee's rushing to the I-PAC offices and intervening in an active probe?
One wonders how one can call the arrest of a person of I-PAC by the Enforcement Directorate as a political intimidation. The raids happened much before the elections. Now, if in pursuance of that entire investigation, the agency believes that there is something that calls for a custodial interrogation or calls for somebody to be arrested and investigated, that is their prerogative. It's not a political exercise.
IPAC एक पॉलिटिकल कंसल्टेंट का नाम पर इन लोगों ने तृणमूल का चोरी का साथी बन गया। वो पॉलिटिकल जो कंसल्टेंसी वो दिखावा है, तृणमूल का सारे काला धन को छुपाना, काला धन को रक्षा करना, ये सारे काम आईपैक करते हैं।
आपने देखा होगा कि जिस तरह से आईसा के ऑफिस में जाकर के माननीय सारे संवैधानिक मर्यादाओं को ताक पर रख करके वहां के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री ममता दीदी जा करके ऑफिस में जो कागजात थे उसको हाथ से लेके अधिकारियों के हाथ से छीन करके जो जांच चल रही थी ले जाना, तो कलई खुल गया उनका।
And it's not just the BJP going after the Trinamool Congress. Even Congress and left are pulling no punches, alleging deep collusion between I-PAC and the ruling party.
बड़ी दावे के साथ कह सकते हैं कि I-PAC और सत्तारूढ़ पार्टी दोनों मिली भगत चोर, चोरी, लूट और भ्रष्टाचार करते आ रहे हैं।
I-PAC is a shell company for TMC Group just to siphon the all corrupt money which the TMC has been collecting from different sources. That's why the Chief Minister dared to prevent ED while there was an investigation.
Speaking at the Times Now summit a few weeks ago, Union Home Minister Amit Shah had also highlighted how Mamata Banerjee's outrage pattern, how she habitually defended the corrupt in her party ranks, whether it is a cash recovery or job scam or coal smuggling. But in the I-PAC case, the Home Minister asked, why this sudden outrage over a private agency?
I-PAC पर जो केस हुआ था वो आज का नहीं है, बहुत समय पुराना था, और अगर वो अपीयर हो जाते तो बात ही समाप्त हो जाती। और मैं ये तो समझ रहा हूं कि ममता जी के भ्रष्टाचारी लोगों पर हम कुछ एक्शन ले तो वो थोड़ा आंसू बहा ले। जिनके घर से 27 करोड़ रुपया मिला वो भी निर्दोष है। जिसने 26,000 बच्चों की नौकरी के भविष्य पर पानी फेर दिया वो भी निर्दोष है। जिसकी कोयला की तस्करी में करोड़ों रुपया सिंगापुर ट्रांसफर हो गया वो भी सारे निर्दोष है। मैं कोई आपत्ति, मगर वो उनके कार्यकर्ता है तो वो पक्ष ले, वो तो समझ में आ रहा है। आईपैक के लिए इतना क्यों हाई तौबा मचा रही है? आईपैक पर रेड पड़ने से सबसे ज्यादा कोई खुश था तो तृणमूल कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता खुश थे, क्योंकि उनको लगता था कि हमारी जगह आईपैक ने ले ली है।
So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the legitimate question on the Newshour tonight. By asking for central agencies to be withdrawn, does the Trinamool Congress want freedom from scrutiny and accountability? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Radhika Khera, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate in the Supreme Court, Ashwini Kumar Mishra, leader of the Congress Party, Dr. Fuad Halim, leader of the CPIM, Somnath Bharti, former minister and senior leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. But my first question goes to Dr. Shantanu Sen, former member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress. And Dada, the question is that there has been a little bit of a meltdown as far as I-PAC is concerned. Well, you've raised the question of why it is happening 10 days before the elections, a question the BJP will need to answer. But the question actually begins from the time when I-PAC was being raided and the Chief Minister had landed there, to which the Home Minister is on record to ask the question, why save a private agency? If they are party people and you're standing by them, that is understandable. Can you explain that, Shantanu?
Navika ji, you have to see the chronology. The real scenario is being 100% sure of getting defeated in the forthcoming assembly election. Once again, they have used their political wing, that extended department or electoral disruption, whatever you say, that is ED, which was formed in 1956 and now has become a political tool of Bharatiya Janata Party. And that's why, in a case, the FIR of which was lodged in way back 2020 in the month of November, just 10 days before the first phase of West Bengal assembly election, they have arrested the co-founder of I-PAC. This is once again proving that they are giving a chilling intimidation and chilling message that if you are with opposition, you are going to be the next. If you see the chronology, it's not only with Trinamool Congress. Across the country, against almost all the opposition leaders belonging to all the opposition political parties, they have faced the same consequences. Now come to our state of West Bengal. This type of raid has taken place several times. Our National General Secretary, Mr. Abhishek Banerjee, has been summoned 8 times in 2 years by the agency which is having a conviction rate of only 0.42%. In last few years, there are 6,000 ED cases, out of which the conviction rate is only 42%. And on the contrary, there are minimum 25 important leaders in the country who were under ED investigation. The moment they joined the washing machine Bharatiya Janata Party, they got a clean sheet. And here lies the basic scenario that by withholding the fund of Bengal, by deleting forcefully the legal and legitimate voters of Bengal, by insulting the historical icons of Bengal, now they know that even after doing all this, they are nowhere in the forthcoming election. That's why once again they are
Shantanu
trying
Dada,
to grab
you are yourself saying they are nowhere in the election, they are going to lose the election. So then calling the ED the election disruptor doesn't really hold because you're winning the election. How does the ED matter at all? Number one. Number two, you haven't said one word on why Mamta Didi reached the IPAC part owner's office, residence, Pratik Jain's place when it was being raided. Number three, you are yourself saying this is an old case from 2020, so it is not a fresh case. And number four, do you want all agencies to just leave Bengal and go away, have nothing to do with Bengal? Is Bengal not part of India? Does it not fall in the national map? And do you believe that Malda kind incidents will not happen if all central agencies are withdrawn, including the CRPF, BSF, everybody? I mean, is that a reasonable request?
There is only one tigress in the country who can take this BJP head on, that is Mamta Banerjee. That's why when in the month of January, without maintaining the protocol or the decorum of any particular investigation, when this BJP governed or BJP controlled ED officers of central agencies, they went to snatch our political documents. Mamta Banerjee has done the right thing. That's why she stood by the side of the IPAC office, and she has taken all the documents of our party. These are our properties. Now come to the point of old case. You tell me a case of 2020, why not two years back? Why not 2 months after the election? Why not 2 months before the election? Why only 10 days before the first phase of election? You answer my question. So far the Malda incident is concerned, now it has become proof that Trinamool Congress was nowhere and in no way involved in that particular case. This was a false information to malign Trinamool Congress. That has become crystal clear by now.
No investigation needed. The clean chit given to Trinamool Congress on the Newshour tonight. Shantanu Dada has spoken, given his judgment. Radhika Khera, why are you wasting your time? Why are you sending agencies to Bengal? Leave them alone. Every timing is questioned, whether it is 3 months before the election or 10 days before the election, whether it is 6 years before or now. Please respond to all the questions that have been raised by Shantanu Dada.
Good evening to everyone. Navika ji, the arrest of Vinesh Chandel is not just about one individual or one consultancy firm. It's about unmasking a criminal political syndicate that has bled West Bengal dry. And it's just, Dada here was talking about that Mamata Banerjee ji stood over there, took all the papers of the party, the secret papers. What were those secret papers doing with the consultancy firm? If they are lists of who are going to be given a ticket or very big secrets of the party, they should be with either Abhishek Banerjee or Mamata Di or a senior leader as himself. Why were they with the consultancy firm? That's not how political parties work. This is a new type of political party which is working with giving their secrets to a consultancy firm who may tomorrow be working for someone else. The I-PAC, when it was with the other people who was working for the Bharatiya Janata Party, now they are working for them. So they are not one which go with an ideology. वो जहाँ पे पैसा मिलता है वहाँ जाते हैं. How can you give your own party secrets to such a company? First of all. Second, now it's not just about this case. We've seen whether it was the police commissioner of West Bengal, even at that time Mamata Banerjee sat on a dharna to shield him. Now here she goes on to protect him every time, whether it's the coal scam, the cattle smuggling scam, the teacher recruitment scam, everywhere Mamata Banerjee comes and stands like a wall. What happens when an Arjikar case we see or any other rape instances we see? Then she says, oh, is ladki ka character kharab hai, isliye rape ho gaya. And then she stands like a shield for the rapist. Why is she always on the wrong side of the law? And agar koi galbad nahi kari hai and there's nothing wrong, they should be the first ones to join the ED questioning. Like Griha Mantri ji said on the show when he was there for your program, he clearly said कि यार बात करने भागे क्यों? भागता तो वही है नाविका जी, चोर की दाढ़ी में जिसके तिनका होता है. But if you and I are correct, why would we run away from law? He would have joined every sort of questioning that was there, and Mamata Banerjee would not have, would not be required to send her own state machinery to protect them. Obviously, there are certain secrets like the Hawala money transfer that was done in Goa and other Hawala money transfers. Now the question is that this is getting murkier. There's maybe much more than what is meeting the eye, which is why the entire TMC is in shambles and they're crying horse like that. Varna, during election time, they should be focusing on that. Imagine a Mukhyamantri going herself and standing and running after those pen drives. What was on those pen drives? Well, it's very questionable because no political party, I will repeat again, will give their list to any consultancy firm.
Dr. Fawad Halim, I just want to ask you, are your lists of candidates and political information in pen drives in your office or in some consultancy firm's office? Why is the Trinamool Congress just so sensitive and touchy about this entire issue? And do you think central investigation agencies are being weaponized as is being alleged by the Trinamool Congress? And there's nothing wrong with Mamata Didi going up to the residence where a raid is taking place. All this is normal. If anybody is wrong, it is the investigation agencies and the BJP government at the center. Where do you stand?
Thank you. And I begin by saying that the anger that you have against the Trinamool Congress government should be the anger that the ED should also have. You know, they had an investigation which was obstructed by the chief minister here, and they did absolutely nothing about it. Now, that's the first point. As to why the ED meekly surrendered to the machinations of the TMs. The second thing you have to keep in mind that the previous arrest in the coal scam case has taken place in April 2024. It's almost a 2-year gap. So you see these waves of activity of the ED. It is something that is inexplicable to the people of West Bengal, because if you go to the streets of West Bengal and you ask a child who is 7 or 8 years old, he or she will tell you that the TMC is an organization filled with thieves. They have collected money for jobs, they have collected money in the coal scam, they have collected money from lottery, what you call processes, they have collected money from everything that goes on here in West Bengal. And this is nothing new. Why is the ED taking so much time to actually get to the truth? That's the point of contention over here. Now, the ED is something that is an agency that begs an explanation as far as I'm concerned. The second question is that is the ED trying to actually create a conduit between the people who are arrested for the BJP here in West Bengal. That's more important, because whenever we see the members of the TMC being charged by agencies, once they cross over to the BJP, all their files, all their videos get lost by the Bharatiya Janata Party from their website, as in the case of Suvendi Adhikari's video being what we call it the Navada scam, suddenly disappearing from the BJP website.
But you don't believe 10 days before the elections, BJP is still looking for candidates in the Trinamool Congress? Are you thinking that's a possibility?
You are more sensible than that. The BJP is not looking for candidates, but the BJP is looking for leverage here in West Bengal. And leverages comes at various levels, especially if you have got somebody who's corrupt. If you've got somebody who's corrupt and who's powerful in the TMC, then you can arm twist. And that's exactly what the BJP has been doing. And they've been doing it openly. You know, your Chief Minister of Assam is actually a corrupt person from the Congress that the BJP harvested out of the Congress. That's the history. That's the legacy. Look at Maharashtra. Look at every place of that. The TMC is not bringing anything new onto the plate.
So much leverage being created, yet not winning elections in Bengal. Radhika Keda, kya hi ho raha hai? But Shantanuda, first respond to Dr. Fuad Halim's allegation that every child in Bengal knows about the corruption of the Trinamool Congress. First respond to that charge.
My simple answer to my friend Dr. Fuad Halim, just recollect the statement made by former Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mr. Buddhadev Bhattacharya, late Mr. Buddhadev Bhattacharya, quote unquote, I don't want to continue in the cabinet of these thieves. It's not my statement. I think this one statement is sufficient to answer my friend Fuad. My answer to my BJP colleague, he was talking about
answer that the TMC is
the
not
BJP Home Minister and the other leaders, including Mr. Prahlad Joshi, former coal minister, who come to Bengal to enjoy the hospitality of the coal mafias, namely Jaidev Khan, who has been included in their committee. Jaidev Khan, the known, popular, famous coal mafia, has become a member of BJP committee, and she is representing a party who is running the central cabinet, in which 28 cabinet ministers out of 71, they are having criminal cases against them. And out of these 28, 19 are so that they are having murder cases against them. And they are talking about corruption. Really
so you are saying murder cases more important, corruption not important. But let me just read out a statement that was made by the government in Rajya Sabha, and they said, as on 31/12/2025, the special courts of PMLA have delivered judgments on merit in the issue of money laundering in 58 cases, out of which conviction orders have been passed in 55 cases. So 55 out of 58 cases, the ED has managed to get convictions. That is a 94.82% success rate. Cases that have not yet been settled by the courts cannot be called. Well, at least people should correct when they give the percentage of cases that have been solved by the ED. But let me also get in Somnath Bharti ji. Somnath Bharti ji, आपसे तो मैं क्या पूछूं, आपकी तो आप बीती है. You have experienced the ED like nobody else, no other political party has. Arvind Kejriwal ji has been jailed, and now he's fighting his own case in the High Court. I want to ask you, Somnath Bharti ji, where is the truth in all of this? And today, on the day the creator, the author of our constitution, B.R. Ambedkar ji's Jayanti is being celebrated, today let's talk about, should constitutionally provided institutions be locked up and the keys thrown away? Should there be no accountability? Should all central agencies be thrown out of Bengal? Do you believe that is the federal structure that was thought of in the constitution?
Today, Navika ji, is a very auspicious day for all of us. Today is Dr. Ambedkar's Jayanti, and all of us need to be surrendering once again to the Constitution of India, and ensuring that the Constitution of India is upheld in every way possible. See, as you said rightly, that we are the one who has been bhukta bhogi of what CBI ED does. just before 6 months of the election, you picked up a sitting chief minister, sent him to jail. You picked up deputy chief minister, you sent him to jail. You picked up health minister, you sent him to jail. You picked up an MP, you sent him to jail. Never in the history it has happened. And then, what is the fate of your case? In 598 pages, the trial court delivered the judgment and said what? It is not even worth a trial. There is no iota of evidence which warrants a trial in a court of law. And that is the fate of your ED CBI case. Mr. Kejriwal has argued himself the case yesterday in the court, you have heard, and he has categorically stated everything. A 598 pages order, how was it sort of, given a bad look in 5 minutes, etc., etc. He said it everything. I will not repeat that. But then, you must have read all the entire judgment. There are statements of the judge which says the entire case was fabricated. Can you imagine, Navika ji? A sitting chief minister was picked up, was sent behind bar, just for winning election. I see the same pattern happening here. Why just during election you want to do this? You have sort of defamed ED and CBI beyond measure. Those officers will be feeling very guilty. How are they being misused to subvert Constitution of India? The democratically elected government
and
being put down.
Constitution allows a chief minister to interfere in an ongoing raid. That is all right by the Constitution.
What do you mean?
I mean, the way Mamta Didi went and interfered in the raid that was being conducted, is that constitutional? उस पर भी तो दो शब्द बोल दीजिए ना.
See, पहले आप ये बोलिए ना नाविका जी कि जो ईडी सीबीआई को राइट गाल पे लेफ्ट गाल पे जो इतने तमाचे लगे हैं, जो बेसिकली बीजेपी को तमाचे लगे 598 पेजेस के ऑर्डर में, इनको कई शर्म भी आती है. They need to be shameful.
Well,
ashamed.
Radhika Khera ji, please respond.
Ashamed of them.
Radhika Khera ji, please respond.
The way they have misused authorities.
Radhika Khera ji, please respond.
I would like
to... the Supreme Court said, told them. CBI was again termed as a case parrot.
Okay, Somnath ji, you're not Radhika Khera. Somnath ji, you're not Radhika Khera. Now, Somnath ji was talking about what the trial court said. Two things he said, कि never in history has a chief minister been arrested, a deputy chief minister been arrested. भाई साहब, complaint किसने करी थी? Never in history have we ever seen a party going hand in hand with the same party who complained and did a dharna. The Congress party went out of their way to say कि अरे इन्होंने चोरी करी है, इनको arrest करो, ED भेजो, CBI करो, and yet
you should apologize to the nation, Radhika ji, on behalf of BJP.
Party, I didn't
apologize
speak over you. Let me complete. Navika ji, I didn't speak over this man. Is this how you behave in court, Mr. Somnath Bharti?
Trust?
I'm sure this is not how you present yourself in court. Let me complete in my turn. You will speak on yours. I'm sorry, this is unfair. I didn't speak over you.
No, Radhika Khera,
my dear sister.
Somnath ji, allow her to respond. I'll give you time to rebut.
Not fair.
Ji, Radhika ji.
The fact that he's speaking over me just shows that I have hit the nail at the spot. Now, he was talking about the court and what the court said. Let me also read what the Honorable High Court observed, that the trial court's findings appeared foundationally misconceived. Why have you all very casually omitted that out? आपके फेवर में अगर जजमेंट आता है तो वाह वाह वाह, लेकिन आपको अगर वापस उसके ऊपर अगर हाई कोर्ट में जाता है और कुछ आता है तो केजरीवाल साहब जाके इंटेग्रिटी ऑफ द जज पे ही क्वेश्चन करने लग जाते हैं. जब तक आपके फेवर में जजमेंट आएगा तो जज बहुत बढ़िया है, लेकिन अगर आपके फेवर में कोई चीज नहीं जाती तो जज की इंटेग्रिटी पे सवाल होता है. चित भी आपकी, पट भी आपकी. Also, the High Court, the Honorable High Court stated the scathing remarks against the CBI officers and the direction for the departmental action, noting that the trial judge might have overstepped by conducting a mini trial instead of basic prima facie check. So when you are talking about your case, पूरी बात बताइए. Having said that, let's come back to West Bengal. Navika ji, everybody knows Ma Mati Manush. That was the slogan that Mamata Banerjee had given. Now, when we come to Ma, the Ma of Sandesh Khali cried sore. The Ma's of many other women who were raped cried. But what did Mamata Banerjee do? She was busy with the I-PAC coal scam. The Bengal ki Mati expected development. But what happened? A syndicate I-PAC settlement. From protecting rapists and corrupt Manush to protecting the money laundering I-PAC. What a fall, Mamata Didi, what a fall. This is not what Bengal chose you for 15 years.
Well, let me get in Ishkaran Bhandari. And Ishkaran Bhandari, you're a man of law. You understand law better than anybody else on the panel here. And I want to ask you, on the one hand, the charge is the ED is using opportunities which are politically expedient for the party at power in the center. On the other hand is the charge that there is a syndicate that runs, and the fact that Mamata Didi as Chief Minister interfered in an ongoing raid is somewhere where propriety has been hurt. I also want to ask you the question. The demand is get all central agencies out of Bengal. Is that feasible? Is that constitutional? And should we now have elections? Because Election Commission is bad, ED is bad, CBI is bad, CRPF is bad, BSF is bad. Sabko nikal dete hain. And then the dance of democracy in West Bengal, what will it look like?
Navika ji, firstly, a sitting chief minister interfering with the ED raid is not a matter of propriety. It's a crime as per me. I have been on your channel, on your show, in fact, when that happened, and I said, anybody else the ED would have arrested. So if anything, ED has been too kind to TMC. It has not been tough on TMC at all. Tell me one other person who can interrupt a raid of an investigative agency and will not be arrested then and there at the spot. That is the law of the land. If the raid is wrong, you go to the courts, you get the summoning order set aside, you get whatever has been taken in the raid set aside, stopped. What are the multiple ways in law in which you act against the excessive use by an investigative agency? Physically going there, obstructing is not one of those ways. So it's not a proprietary thing. It's, to my mind, a clear breach of law. Now let me come to the second aspect, because we had today, suddenly again, we are discussing the Aam Aadmi Party and its strategy and what are the orders of the court. So firstly, what has been Mr. Kejriwal's history? And I am raising this because a recusal application has been moved in front of an excellent judge. The strategy had been, when the party came to power, accuse everybody, be it Congress leadership, be it leadership of Lalu Prasad Yadav, Sharad Pawar, be it Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, everybody was accused. Later on, when political purposes served, those same people who were accused became your coalition partners, your alliance partners, etc. And people you had made allegations on, you later on had to go and apologize. A judge does not have the liberty of filing a defamation case. We've seen what sort of agenda has been done on the social media. A judge does not have the opportunity to defend except by the judgment. So you can come out here and make any allegation on any judge and then say it's my political privilege to make this allegation. That is not how the law operates in this country. Even if you don't agree with the judgment of the High Court, there is always Supreme Court. So these allegations, and on today, Mr. Bharti again on channel is making all sorts of allegations. I hope they stop doing this. You can't respect the judiciary because you get an order in favor and then attack the judiciary because you don't get the order in favor. Please stop doing this hollow politics.
Well, now, and Ashwini Kumar Mishra, my question to you is, there are courts of the land. The entire matter
Allow me to rebut. Everybody is saying something or the other against me.
Not against you, against your politics, in which you as a strategy accuse people and then go up in relations with them.
सोमनाथ जी, आपने किसी को कब रिबट करने का टाइम दिया? आपने तो सबके जजमेंट्स लिख दिए थे जब आपके पॉलिटिक्स आसमान पर थी, तो आप जजमेंट लिखा करते थे. अब आप रिबट करने का टाइम मांग रहे हैं. I'll come back to you, but Ashwini Kumar Mishra, I have only one question. Inside Bengal, TMC is corrupt and the left parties and the Congress is against the TMC. Outside Bengal, well, सारे इकट्ठे हैं and they are against the BJP and the ED. What is this strategy inside Bengal, outside Bengal, and what is this opposition? Truth has no versions. Truth has one version, that is the truth. I want to know from you, is the investigation agency, in this case the ED, right in trying to find out the nexus of corruption as well as money laundering? Is it true that this is something that happens on the ground, as Dr. Fuad Halim says, or are you bringing out another version of the truth, Congress style?
Navika ji, good evening to you, fellow panelists and your viewers. And you rightly said, truth has only one version. And on this auspicious day of Ambedkar Jayanti, we strongly support that Constitution should upheld at any cost. But the problem is, all these constitutional bodies, which are supposed to be the autonomous bodies, it has been playing in the hands of current government. We have seen how ED has been used for the pressure politics, how ED has been used to create a washing machine. Subhendu Adhikari, Hemant Biswa Sharma, and there are multiple names. 25 people who had in ED cases, 23 of them joined BJP. There are a lot of washing machine products sitting in this debate right now. So the problem is, we should treat these autonomous
That's
bodies
personal.
as autonomous bodies.
Please tell me what. No. You can't get away with that. You cannot get away with that, Ashwini. You cannot get personal. What are the charges against Radhika Khera, if that is what you want to allude to? There have been no charges against her. What do you mean by saying she's been put in a washing machine? Just because you see a woman, you will get personal.
No, what I am trying to say is, Navika ji, there has been number of people who joined BJP.
You said on this panel, Ashwini ji, I will hold you to your word. You said on this panel, unfortunate, please apologize. Please apologize. You said on this panel, and you made a charge that she has come out of a washing machine. Please enumerate here what is the corruption charge that you found against Radhika Khera, and that is not the reason she quit the Congress party. So Ashwini, either apologize or take back your words.
Navika ji, I have not mentioned her name, and moreover, what I quoted is that
on this
BJP has a
on this panel, ya to hum sab, all of us are blind, deaf, and totally with a zero level of IQ, or you think you are too smart, which you certainly aren't. Radhika Khera, I give you the right to respond and put Mr. Ashwini Kumar and his statements where they belong.
Navika ji, Ashwini Kumar started with paying homage to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ji and talking about the Constitution. Well, they have never given any sort of respect to Ambedkar ji. We've seen how the Congress, how Nehru Parivar, Nehru ji himself ensured that, and the entire Congress ensured that Ambedkar ji was defeated because they are against the very constitution that Rahul Gandhi goes around, khali constitution ki kitab bhi wo lekar ghumte hai. Now that same constitution gives me or anybody the right to change our political party. Kya constitution mein Ashwini Kumar sir bataiye kaun se article और कौन से पेज में ये लिखा हुआ है कि मैं अगर एक political party जो देशद्रोह करने पे उतर गई है, which has become corrupt, which is against the idea of a forward developed India, which is against development of women, development of India, and which is actually in cahoots with Pakistan and other terror organizations, and goes to China and does everything against the country. Where does the constitution say that मेरी पूरी जीवन उसी पार्टी के साथ बंधा हुआ है? और हाँ, मैं बिल्कुल वॉशिंग मशीन में धुल गई हूँ. जो मैंने पाप वाले साल 22 साल कांग्रेस पार्टी में बिताए थे, वहां पापों से मैं धुल गई हूं. लेकिन आप ना कभी धुल पाएंगे. ऐसे ही गंदे और बदबूदार सोच के साथ यहीं के यहीं रहेंगे. ईश्वर आपको वही रखे. प्रभु राम की कृपा रहेगी कि आप इसी गंद और इसी कीचड़ में रहे.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about political slugfest. Unfortunate that we get down to making it personal and charging each other, which is totally against the courtesies and against what is really dear to us as a constitutional right. Having said that, let's come back to the question. And we ask the people of this country the question. ED arresting I-PAC co-founder. TMC wants all central agencies out of Bengal. Scared of probe? 82% people believe yes, they are scared of an investigation. 14% people believe no, they are not scared. Can't say no view, 4% of the people. But 82% people believe probity and accountability is something that everybody should adopt. If you don't, are you running away from that accountability? That's the question people are asking. Thank you very much to all my panelists joining me on debate number 1.